Hey noble ones, welcome back to my channel. What a wonderful day. Metatron has finally decided to start posting on this channel again. Alright, so I think you know how passionate I am about language learning. You might have got a hint. And if there's one thing that absolutely drives me nuts is all those people that are, you know, the fake polyglots, I can't stand them. I think I will begin a holy crusade to expose as many as possible. I'm going to challenge all those people that make those videos just because they want to pretend. They pretend to know language. They just jump cut themselves 17 different times within 20 seconds just to memorize a couple of sentences they don't even understand. Pretend to speak 15 languages, do not actually speak them, never put in the effort, never move to those countries, never actually learnt them. They're not able to have a conversation, but they pretend to because then they can sell you their courses, sell you their books, or in general just get clicks on YouTube. But there is something that is really long overdue, and it's reacting to someone who has been already sort of, I believe, attacking those frauds. And that is, of course, Language Simp. And he's got a little bit of a comedic channel, I guess. I think he also has like language reviews, but I don't know how much of that is actual language learning and how much is sarcasm. But I do believe he knows a few languages, like legitimately. But of course he has this video which is like super famous, so let's check it out.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Language Simp, and I am a hyper polyglot alpha male giga chad. Today I'm going to be reading from a script in a bunch of languages that I don't know anything about in order to try to make a lot of money off of YouTube ad revenue.
Spot on.
Then I will be trying to sell you some sort of course or language learning resource that I would never actually use myself. Without further ado, let's get right down to business.
Let's listen to the guru. Man, he nailed it. He nailed it.
I'm going to start in the only other language that I actually know well, so that you all start to trust my abilities. Wesh la street, où sont les meufs, mon ref? Je parle bien français parce que je suis mieux que toi, wallah. Baguette croissant, white flag, surrender.
Baguette croissant. Oh my gosh, it's so funny, but there's one thing that is inaccurate here. His accent is actually pretty good. Usually, the fake polyglots, their accent is terrible.
I'm sure you all get the point by now. Now I'm going to speak in a few languages that I obviously suck at. I just memorized these phrases from Google Translate this morning, but I'm sure that dumb Americans are going to eat this shit up like Big Macs from McDonald's. 我是白人.
我是白人, okay, it's Mandarin.
到3个中文句子，我想讲鸡肉。你是中国人吗？你想和我一起喝一杯吗？ Are you surprised that a white American patriot
非常好，我喜欢你的汉语。
just spoke Chinese with native
你说得很好。
like fluency? I bet half of you are foaming from the mouth and doing backflips right now. Despacito. Quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmar las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un motherfucking scrito. Y ahora estoy hablando español con un acento italiano y ustedes van a creer que yo parlo italiano.
Yeah, that is so true. It does happen a lot. Like people that do not speak any Italian whatsoever. This is a wonderful screenshot, by the way. But honestly, yeah, that happens. Like people that never actually put any work into Italian, and then they think they're speaking Italian, but like half of the words they're using are actually Spanish. What's funny is that if you do speak Spanish with an Italian accent, some people say that you are speaking like Argentinian. Not really true, but it is true that Argentinians do have some words in common with us, and it's probably the closest to Italian, I believe. I heard them say words like birra instead of in like common language. I mean, I'm not proficient, but I heard them say that, which is the way we say beer instead of cerveza.
Pasta la pizza d'Italia.
Pasta la pizza d'Italia.
Estoy hablando español in a weird way para que crean que hablo português do Brasil. Bolsonaro é muito gostoso.
Oh,
now
gosh.
I am going to literally just say how are you in Indonesian.
Please.
Apa kabar? Hundreds of Indonesians are now in my comment section writing, wow, you speak fluent Indonesian.
Holy. American backwards. Oh, this is fantastic. This language just doesn't exist at all. I just made it up. Oh my gosh, that is so... It's hilarious, but it's so accurate. So you think I speak Brazilian Portuguese? Oh my gosh. Ancient Albanian Sign Language.
I am not gay, but I am attracted to Stephen Kaufman because he is a hyper polyglot gigachad and an athlete. Now is the part of the video where I completely exaggerate how quickly I learned these languages.
Please.
Let's just say that I learned, I don't know, 10 languages in 1 month. How about that? You're all too...
Oh, those piss me off so much. Language learning takes time. Given there are some extremely talented individuals that, for example, in a year, they can reach a level of fluency that other people might need like 3 years to reach. So I've seen, and other people will never reach no matter how long they spend learning the language. So that does happen sometimes, but still language learning requires a lot of time. And usually people that do this is because they put a monumental amount of time. Anyway, so remember that, yeah, when you say I picked up Mandarin, picked up English in 2 years, well, 2 years, okay, but 2 years while you're doing other things, you have a full-time job, you have a family, kids, need to go to school doing something else? Or is it 2 years that's all you did? Because then it's not really 2 years, is it? It's like the equivalent for someone else of a decade. So a lot of this has to be, of course, put in perspective. But what I like about what he's saying is that people will say, do this trick and watch this video and you will be fluent in this language in a month. Or they tell you, I learned Italian in a month, or I learned Mandarin in 3 weeks. When you see that, click unfollow. Do not interested. Don't stop recommending this channel, because honestly, they are fraudsters. It's fake, and it's unfortunately based on the idea that we do know that some people are very talented, and these people are weaponizing and exploiting new language learners' enthusiasm, together with the fact that a lot of us have this like idea that we are the protagonist syndrome sort of situation, and they exploit that for money.
Too stupid to know how long it takes, and you're too lazy to learn a language anyway. But in case you actually have the motivation to study, you should use this app called Duolingo. I only used it a few times, and it is terrible. You could literally never learn a language on this app, but they're paying me thousands of dollars to say this to you. I don't care about my viewers at all, so go download this and pay for a membership, please. I have never touched a woman. And to celebrate never touching a woman, I am also selling a 3-page PDF file explaining how I learn languages for the low price of $5,999.12. You could alternatively get all of this information for free by watching one Lindy Boats video, but I am a greedy piece of shit. Before I go, I just want to remind you that I am better than you. Subscribe if you too would like to become a hyper-polyglot gigachad.
Okay, he absolutely nailed it. 100%. And you know, when I said a lot of people do all the things he said and more, they do it for money, that's true, but they also do it for clout and self-gratification. That's something that I noticed, because once again, they don't want to put in the work because it takes a monumental amount of work to reach fluency in any language, really, but even more so when it's like, oh, Japanese, Mandarin, Chinese, Arabic. Like, there are some languages that require objectively, regardless of where you're coming from, a lot more time. And that is just an objective fact, but that makes them more impressive when someone reaches those very high level, particularly like for the writing and reading and writing. And so that's why sometimes they choose that. And they're like, oh, oh, I speak fluently Mandarin, Japanese, and Korean, and Indonesian, and Sanskrit. And I did all of that in a month. And they do it for clout, because they see someone else who actually did put in the work and maybe spent like a decade in freaking China, and they speak so well, their tones are almost perfect. And so they're like, oh, I want that too, but I don't want to put a decade of work. I don't want to move to these countries. I don't want to learn like that. So they pretend. They put on a show and they think they're being clever. But they're easy to expose. And that's probably what I'm going to start doing now. You know how you do it? You challenge them to a live stream in the language that they pretend to speak. I'm going to start doing that. Anyways, you know what I noticed from him? He doesn't post very often, says the guy who hasn't been posting on this channel for a while. But anyways, he doesn't post very often, but he's still active. And he did a language review Italian. If you want me to react to that, let me know in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.